Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in to the Facebook group Rebuild of America's Small Business. Glad to have you along today on this beautiful Sunday here in Kenosha, Wisconsin, just chilling out in my backyard for the first time what seems forever. But let's get into 5 ways we can still get money in today's economy. Number 1 would be a secure line of credit. Now, you may have started those in the past, or you may be familiar with the overall concept there. You typically go to your community bank or your credit union. And the positives to those is that the interest rate are really low. Interest rates for those are usually only prime plus a half or prime plus 1%. And those lines are typically secured by either account receivables or equipment or inventory. So of course you need to have collateral to get a secure line of credit, but the positives are very low rates, and the negatives would be the fact that the terms are only 12 months in length, so you hope that your business continues to flourish and that the lender wants to continue loaning you money after 12 months. Number 2, unsecured lines of credit. Now typically those are made by companies like Bluevine, who, from my understanding, is still accepting new applicants for an unsecured line of credit. Many other lenders may have pulled back on those unsecured line of credit advances because, frankly, they're having too many problems with their current portfolio and defaults, and this economy, companies just not paying them because it's unsecured. So those are going to be a little more challenging probably in today's environment. Now there, the rates are much higher than a secured line of credit because obviously they don't have any collateral to secure the loans. So the rates are going to be much higher than a secured line of credit. Number 3, account receivable financing, otherwise known as factoring, where rather than waiting 30 to 60 days to get paid on your invoices, you could get paid in as little as 48 hours on your invoices if you have an approved factoring line. Now, account receivable companies, there's plenty of them, and to get approved for a line like that, it's really depending on the strength of your client's financial capability and consistency and background of paying everybody on time. So if you're interested in knowing more about factoring, we can discuss that. We can discuss in the group. I'd love to hear your feedback on how that's worked for you in the past. But if you have questions on it, just feel free to ask them in the group and I'll get right to that. But factoring works out really well for many companies where they're getting advance of 80% or so within 48 hours of putting the invoice in. And the approval time takes anywhere from a week to 2 weeks to get done. And the cost of factoring is usually anywhere between 2 and 2.5% for every 30 days the invoice is outstanding. So that's account receivable or factoring financing. Number 4, purchase order financing. So if many of you have had orders in the past, but you don't have the money to pay for materials to your supplier, that's what purchase order financing does. They basically provide the money to fill a purchase order. They pay that money to your supplier directly, not to you, but to your supplier directly, as long as the supplier and the contractor are strong. Now, the money then goes to the goes to the supplier. They make your goods, they ship it to you. You then send it out to your client, and that becomes a receivable. Now, purchase order financing is typically done around 3% for every 30 days the money is outstanding. And 5th and final way to get money in today's environment is commercial real estate financing. So if you do own a commercial property or you're thinking about buying a commercial property, this is a great time to do it. Why? Because interest rates are so darn low. I mean, you're looking at credit union rates now for a 5-year fixed rate, 4% fixed for 5 years, about a 75 or 80% loan to value. Credit unions don't charge any origination fees, and they typically don't charge any prepayment penalties. So it's outstanding. Now, another way to look for commercial real estate is through the SBA. I mean, SBA commercial real estate rates right now for a 504 SBA loan for real estate can be as low as a blended rate of 3.5%. What does that blended rate mean? Well, it means that for 40% of the loan, the SBA guarantees that portion of the loan to the lender. On that 40% of the loan, the SBA is currently offering a 3% fixed rate for 25 years, which is crazy. I mean, you can get a 3% fixed rate for 25 years. And by the way, it's assumable. So if someone buys your building down the road and they have good credit too, they can assume your mortgage at 3% fixed for 25 years from the time you initiate it. The other 50% of the loan is going to be issued by the lender, and the lender's 5-year fixed rates are usually right now between 3.5 and 4. Still, fantastic rate for the overall loan. Also, a really huge part about the SBA right now, an SBA commercial real estate loan, is for any loan closed with the SBA between now and the end of September, the SBA is picking up the payments for the first 6 months of the loan, which is crazy to think about that. The SBA is paying for your first 6 months of the loan. So that's another outstanding reason to consider an SBA loan. Now, credit scores you need for those type of loans are usually 675. So keep that in mind. And then for those of you with more challenged credit, you can consider bridge loans. And bridge loans for commercial real estate are typically anywhere from 60 to 65% of the value of the property. They don't look at your credit really whatsoever. They look at the value of the equity in the property. Another important thing to know about commercial real estate loans is the cash flow from the property has to make sure that it covers the overall mortgage payment, property taxes, and insurance with about 25% more to spare. So again, I hope this covers it. I'll touch on this in written form on the Facebook page as well. Again, if you're watching this on YouTube, my Facebook page is The Rebuild of America's Small Business. We would love to have you join in as part of our members, and love to get your feedback on this video and other videos you'd like me to bring out. By the way, too, this coming week, we're going to have our first expert video series. We're going to be joined by a owner of an equipment finance company that will get into more specifics on how do you get equipment finance, what kind of equipment are they looking for, what kind of interest rates, how do you get approved, and so forth. So we're going to make sure we bring you more and more ideas of how you can get money for your business, even in times like this. So until next time, everybody have a great week, and look forward to keeping you posted on what's going on in finance. Thanks. Take care.